When you became secretary, look me in the eye, did you fire any air traffic controllers?
I did not.
Okay.
And I did hire air traffic controllers.
Did Mr. Musk?
So by the way, Mr. Musk doesn't fire or hire anybody at the department. I do, and so no, he didn't fire anybody, including air traffic controllers.
Okay. When you probably don't have to, but when most people go through TSA, they take your picture. They have a little camera there, and they say, "Look in the camera. We want to take your picture." Now, underneath it is this little bitty sign that you can barely see, and I think it's written in Sanskrit, that says, "This is optional." I won't let them take my picture.
I won't either, Senator.
And they promised us that they destroy the data. Okay. Once again, I don't believe that Elvis is alive either.
Ladies and gentlemen, patriots across this great land, welcome back to Right View Nation, where we speak truth without apology, without censorship, and without backing down. Today, we're diving into a fiery exchange between Senator John Kennedy and Secretary Pete Buttigieg. And let me tell you, Kennedy came ready, armed with facts, wit, and the backbone that D.C. has been sorely lacking. This is the kind of oversight the American people deserve. Not softball questions, not bureaucratic fluff, but hard-nosed accountability. And that's exactly what we got. Let's break this down, because this exchange shines a spotlight on some of the biggest problems in our bloated federal bureaucracy. Delays in vital energy projects, lies about air traffic controller firings, and the government's creepy obsession with tracking our faces every time we fly.
Now we go to Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Mr. Secretary. Welcome.
It's good to be with you, Senator.
You know what the Center of Excellence for Liquefied Natural Gas is?
Why, yes, I do.
Where are you going to put it?
I think it's going to go in your state, Senator.
When are you going to announce it?
Very soon. I know our teams have been working together on that. If you want to front run it here, we could, but I know that we were working on an announcement together, and our teams have been working.
I want to front run the hell out of it.
All right.
Where's it going to be put? In Louisiana?
Is it Lake, what it would,
McNeese?
Lake Charles, Lake Nice, Lake
Yep.
Charles?
And you're going to make an announcement, Sean, the next few days?
Yeah, I know we've been working on some finer points and details, but yes, it's that's where it's going to go. And I think, as if my memory serves me, I think we're trying to get this stood up and moving by this summer.
Well, I want to get it announced first,
Sure.
so your colleagues can't take it back.
No one's taking anything from you, Senator. It's coming your way.
I see my old friend, Mr. Plotkin, here. Watch him like a hawk, by the way.
He said you do not want to make Senator Kennedy upset on this project.
Well, your predecessor told me a number of times that it was about to be announced, and it was never announced. I don't mean any disrespect. I just finally didn't believe him anymore. I don't think Elvis is alive either. So I learned. But if you could go ahead and announce it, it would, it sure would. I'll buy you a soda and a nice hat.
I would appreciate that.
Okay. When you got to the department and became secretary, did you fire a bunch of air traffic control?
I did not, Senator.
Did Mr. Musk do that?
He did not.
Where'd all this stuff come from?
So there were about 350 probationary employees at the FAA that were let go, and we're trying to stream. By the way, there's 46,000 people that work at the FAA, so this was a minuscule percentage. But even air traffic controllers who were probationary employees were excluded. All safety positions were preserved at the FAA, including air traffic controllers. And so I think it's a narrative that some in media and in politics have tried to drive as if we're not focused on safety. But I have been crystal clear, and I think I've said this until my face is blue, though it's not today, but it could be because we did not actually fire any air traffic controllers, Senator. We've been hiring air traffic controllers as quickly as we can.
All right.
And so I don't know how many times I have to say it.
Let's say it one more time.
Yes.
When you became secretary, look me in the eye, did you fire any air traffic controllers?
I did not.
Okay.
And I did hire air traffic
Did
controllers.
Mr. Musk?
So by the way, Mr. Musk doesn't fire or hire anybody at the department. I do, and so no, he didn't fire anybody, including air traffic controllers.
Okay. When you probably don't have to, but when most people go through TSA, they take your picture. They have a little camera there, and they say, "Look in the camera. We want to take your picture." Now, underneath it is this little bitty sign that you can barely see, and I think it's written in Sanskrit, that says, "This is optional." I won't let them take my picture.
I won't either, Senator.
And they promised us that they destroy the data. Okay. Once again, I don't believe that Elvis is alive either. Senator Merkley and I have a bill. There's been no evidence that this has prevented any acts of terrorism. And I just don't know why the federal government has to collect this huge database of every American who flies picture.
I thank you for that. I couldn't agree with you more. I actually try to turn my head away from the camera when I go through and they're taking pictures. There's no need. I think Americans have a right to privacy. And I don't think you need a digital scan of my face to allow me to have the right to fly on an airplane. I think it's absolutely wrong. And what does it do to security? I don't think it breeds any more security in our airspace, on our airplanes. And so thank you for doing that work. I couldn't agree with you more.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Senator Kennedy opens up with a topic near and dear to every Louisiana patriot's heart, our natural gas industry. He puts Secretary Buttigieg on the spot about the long-awaited LNG Center of Excellence. Now remember, this center is critical for jobs, innovation, and American energy independence. But for months, all we've gotten from the Department of Transportation is crickets. Kennedy flat out asked, "Where is it going? When are you announcing it?" And finally, after fumbling around, Buttigieg admitted it's going to Lake Charles, Louisiana. Well, it's about time. We've been waiting on this announcement while the Biden administration drags its feet, possibly hoping to hand it off to a blue state. Kennedy wasn't having it. He demanded a public commitment and warned Buttigieg, "Get this done before someone else tries to steal it." That's the kind of fight we need, putting Louisiana first, putting America first. Then we moved into air travel, and folks, this is where the gaslighting from the federal government hits new heights. There have been rumors flying around, likely spread by the media and political hacks, that the FAA, under Buttigieg's watch, fired a bunch of air traffic controllers. That would be a massive blow to our already chaotic skies. But guess what? Kennedy wasn't about to let the secretary spin or dodge. He looked him right in the eye and asked, "Did you fire any air traffic controllers?" Buttigieg, no. Kennedy again, "Did Musk fire any?" Buttigieg, no. So where did this narrative come from? Just like every other distraction, it's a product of the same swampy tactics we've seen for years. Stir fear, distract from real issues, and cover up incompetence. Yes, a few probationary FAA employees were let go, but Kennedy forced Buttigieg to admit that no safety positions, including controllers, were cut. In fact, they're hiring. But here's the kicker. This was a clear moment where facts punched the narrative in the mouth, and Kennedy was the one holding the gloves. And now we get to the most disturbing part of this exchange: biometric surveillance at airports. Every time you fly, TSA has a camera pointed in your face. They say it's optional, but the sign is hidden in tiny print, and they promise they delete the data. Really? The same government that can't fix potholes or deliver mail on time is asking us to trust them with our face scans. Senator Kennedy said it best. I don't believe Elvis is still alive, and I don't believe they're deleting our data either. Amen, Senator. Why does the government need to build a facial recognition database on law-abiding citizens? There's zero evidence this system has prevented terrorism. This is about control, not security. Buttigieg claimed to agree, saying he turns his head away from the scanner. Well, if you're the Secretary of Transportation and you're avoiding it, why is it even there in the first place? The American people deserve the right to travel freely without being cataloged like suspects. This isn't China. This is the United States of America. Senator Kennedy didn't come to play. He called out delays, he exposed false narratives, and he stood up for privacy rights in a way that very few in Washington are willing to do anymore. But here's the deeper issue. Why is it that every single time we try to get answers, we have to drag them out with a crowbar? Why does every simple project take months, sometimes years? Why are unelected bureaucrats and bloated departments constantly failing to deliver? Because this isn't just about Louisiana. It's not just about air traffic control or TSA facial scans. It's about a federal government that has lost touch with the people it's supposed to serve. It's about bureaucrats who live in an echo chamber of elite privilege while working Americans pay the price. To every patriot watching, this is why elections matter. This is why we can't sit silent while the administrative state grows more arrogant and out of control. Senator Kennedy showed what real representation looks like: sharp, fearless, unapologetic. We need more of that. We need fighters, not finger-pointers. We need doers, not bureaucrats hiding behind press releases and PR firms. If you're tired of being lied to, if you're tired of your privacy being invaded, if you're tired of a federal government that can't get anything done unless it's padded with red tape and surveillance, then stand with us. Subscribe, share, speak out. This is Right View Nation, and we're just getting started. God bless America, and God bless the patriots fighting for truth. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell so you never miss when we drop the truth. Until next time, stay bold, stay loud, and stay proud.